Welcome to Scream Alive. Today's story is titled Scarecrow's Revenge. Let's begin. The old woman whispered, her words as cold as winter frost. Never go near that lake. Nothing lives there. It is cursed with black magic. Anyone who goes there never returns. But Greta, the young Viking with a warrior spirit, laughed sarcastically. Her heart, imbued with the teachings of her father, Malcolm, the village chief, did not believe in superstitions. She believed only in what her eyes could see and the power of her fearless sword. Malcolm, our wise leader, saw great strength in his daughter, but he knew that some dangers cannot be seen with the naked eye. He knew that black magic exists and witchcraft exists, but Greta said confidently, "Does any of that compare to fighting a Viking with her sword?" He did not know that the answer would haunt them like a nightmare. On that fateful day, Ida, the hard-working laborer, was groaning under the scorching sun, complaining about her hand, which had been injured by the corn harvester. The harvest season was hard, and the corn in Lord Milburgh's field was waiting. Ida did not know that another curse was forming, one even more cruel than the fatigue of the harvest. The first signs of terror came on a stifling summer night. Henrik, the man we all knew but no one trusted, disappeared after stealing beer from the storehouse and kidnapping two women. One of them escaped, barely alive, to sound the terrifying alarm. But the other, Elizabeth, Malcolm's daughter, did not return. The men of the village chased Henrik through the dense woods, led by Malcolm, whose anger was boiling over. They found Elizabeth, barely breathing, her face etched with terror. Malcolm faced a difficult choice. According to Viking law, exile was the just punishment for Henrik's crime, not death as long as the crime was not completed. Some warriors, such as Dolf, believed that execution was the solution, but Malcolm insisted on honor. They tied him to a dilapidated wooden scarecrow in the old cornfield, the field famous for its curse, where this damned scarecrow didn't scare a single crow, but brought the plague to the crops. Henrik shouted curses, promising Malcolm and our entire village hell, and shouted that he would not reach Valhalla, but would bring hell to us. His words were like poisonous seeds, waiting to sprout terror in our hearts. Exile was not enough. Shadows awaited Henrik at the Black Lake. There, in the heart of the curse, he made a pact with the witch. He did not know that this witch was Eilina, Greta's lost mother, whose grief over her first dead child had turned her into a soul-devouring creature. The witch promised Henrik great power in a new vessel in exchange for his soul and every soul he killed. Henrik was transformed into an indescribable monster, a moving scarecrow wandering in the darkness, its eyes burning with red rage, sowing death and destruction wherever it went. The real nightmare began. Olaf and Troy disappeared in the forest during a hunting trip. They returned, or rather, part of them returned. Their footprints led to where the scarecrow had been, which was now moving. The Vikings realized that this was not the work of a human. Something is there, but it's not human. Terror spread through the village. Then came the news that broke our hearts. Anna is dead, a sickle in her back, her neck broken on the gallows rope, her organs scattered on the road. The letter H was brutally carved into her face, the killer's signature. The scene was horrific, brutal in a way never seen before. Malcolm regretted his decision to exile her. His anger was unbearable, his blood boiling. Faced with this unstoppable horror, Malcolm made a decision that would change everything. He went to the Black Lake, the witch's stronghold. He confronted Eilina, who revealed her shocking identity as Greta's mother. She explained to him how Greta was torn between two destinies, that of the Vikings and that of black magic. Eilina presented Malcolm with a terrifying choice: save the village or save Greta. It was a horrific test of a father's love. Without hesitation, Malcolm chose his daughter. He offered his soul, his entire life, and even his place in Valhalla to the witch. It was an unimaginable sacrifice, the price of our leader's soul in exchange for his daughter's life. Greta returned to find the village in utter chaos, despair suffocating everyone. Her destiny led her to the lake. There, she met her mother, the witch Eilina. The witch offered Greta the power she needed to kill Henrik, but at a terrible price. She would become immortal, bound to the cursed lake forever. Greta was torn between her loyalty to the Vikings and her honor, and the need to save her people. She did not want to tarnish her father's legacy, but the village was burning. In a moment of desperation, she accepted the deal, and her sword became a deadly weapon, glowing with a power she had never known before. She confronted Henrik, the monster who had struck terror into everyone's hearts, and defeated him, but victory came at a high price. Greta became trapped in the lake, immortal, able to steal the fate of souls from their place in the afterlife. Just as she had stolen her father's soul, she realized the terrifying fate that awaited her: eternal solitude with unlimited power, but at the cost of the souls of those she loved. She looked at the lake where souls floated restlessly, each carrying its own story of horror. It was a curse, but it became her destiny. Greta was no longer the Viking warrior we knew, but a terrifying guardian of the Lake of Lost Souls, a new creature born of horror, bound by an irreversible fate. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel.